bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I don't know, maybe it was me, but it don't get, I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it, but I'm going to be nice. And yeah, it's like, yeah, it wasn't. Yep. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's hump day. Today is Wednesday. And that means it's a fun day. Goodbye, DJ Brother Z. Appreciate you. I am just giving trouble to, I like giving trouble to him because he gives trouble to me. I give everybody trouble. Everybody gives me trouble. It's fun. Why? Because we're all teammates and we're having fun. Speaking of having fun, speaking of thinking about things that are going on, and speaking of thinking about what's happening in the world, I have another question, and I know it's going to probably upset some people and probably make people think, oh, what are you talking about? However, there's some things that have been bothering me lately that I don't really understand. You know what I mean? I don't really understand why certain things happen. There seems to be an idea that, and it kind of takes up on what I was thinking about and what I was talking about the other day. Why are black people constantly compared to white people? Why are non-white people always compared? And so there always seems to be this assumption that everything in the world has to be this particular way because that's right and everybody else is wrong. So if you think about it in politics, right? Republicans think these are the things that are important. And if you're going to be a Republican, you got to follow these things. And if you don't follow these things, then you're not really Republican and you're not really important. If you're a Democrat, these are the things that are important. These are the things you should be following if you're a Democrat. And so really, if you look at it, both parties follow the exact same thing, right? Family, education, LGBTQ plus issues, healthcare issues, like anything, each side, climate change, global warming, each side has their own rendition of what you should follow. The problem is the majority of each of those is white. And so you're expected to toe the line, which I find odd. When we talk about music, right? We did it the other day. People brought in all sorts of things and all sorts of, well, I think it's this and this person has more money, you know, because different people are like drawn to different things as it relates to the artist, as it relates to music. And so do we have to follow that? Or, well, let me give a better example, which I've given before. Working on a squad car with a partner who's white. White male, I'm a black male. Car with rap music goes by playing it loud. Boop. Loud music. White guy drives by with rock music playing. Maybe not. Right? And I would always wonder why that was so. And it's so because that's what resonates with them, and the things that don't, he wrote tickets to, or he was irritated by it, or he gave a warning, that kind of thing, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, and I'm not judging him. I'm just making the observation. And so the other thing came down public displays, how you dress, how you talk, how you act. And so one of the things that's interesting is that public displays of how you dress, you get trashed. What are you wearing those clothes for? Now, personally, I think wearing pants without a belt and they're sagging and I can see your underwear is an idiotic, stupid way to wear your pants. No, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying the way that you wear them is stupid. I've done stupid things and I've been stupid before. Some of you will go so far as to say I'm stupid now, but I digress. At some point, if that's how you want to walk around and live, that's your prerogative. You can ask the guy that got arrested in, I think, Germantown, for trying to run from the police when his pants were sagging and fell and busted his head. I mean, we could talk about that, but I digress. Public displays. You have to act like this, talk like this, trying to explain to people what Ebonics is and to have black people dismiss what Ebonics is, not understanding a sub-language and all that. What about food and diet? We eat different. Some of it's good for us. Some of it's bad for us. You know, just like everybody else. Oh, my God, what is that? I remember when I first started here, and I'll use the example. I eat hot sauce on everything. So I would go to Qdoba, get a bowl. Used to get the full bowl, but, you know, you had to lose weight. So now I get the mini bowl, and I put hot sauce on it. Like, while I already have jalapeno peppers on it, I put hot sauce on it. Ooh, what is that? Oh, and you can see people's face scrunching up, right? Because they don't like it. It's okay. But I'm not going to change because someone else doesn't like it or they don't think I should be eating it. Because there's some meals, I dare say, and let me just be honest about this, I have never eaten a casserole before. I don't even know how the casserole look. Oh, we're having tuna casserole. Okay, I don't know what that is. Number 4, living arrangements. People constantly come into our community and talk about how black people live. Look at your neighborhood. Look at your streets. We don't own those houses many times. White people from suburbs who put their kids and grandkids through school and made money off of us paying exorbitant rent and barely decent housing, That's where we live. That's where some of us live. And so when we talk about the plight of Black America in the code word urban cities, many of the times that you complain, you're complaining about people that own property that don't even live here. They live up in Cedarburg and Grafton and Mequon. And I'm talking about the black and the white ones too. And then number 5, it comes down to, how do we feel about support? How do we feel about national support? How do we feel about what's important? Praying for the nation, supporting the president, family values, right? Those weren't ours. Those were yours. And when we try to stress our culture, our African diaspora, these are also some things that are important. They're pushed aside. Because we're always told these are the things that are right. These are the things that you should be doing in order to be, quote unquote, American. And that drives me crazy because my ancestors were at the bottom of the boat, not the top. We didn't choose to come here. You brought us here. And I say you because you're the remnant of the people who brought us here. You're the remnant of the people who made money and prospered off of slavery, generation after generation. So then my question to you is really simple. Now that we've started to equalize this, now that we have diversity in many corners of the country, now that we have inclusion in many corners of the country, we haven't really gotten equity. And when I say equity and opportunity so that I can do what I want, when I want, and you leave me alone. And you don't pass laws because of idiocy things like critical race theory that aren't in elementary schools anyway. But because you think that's important for you, you want to make everybody else follow you. And so my question to the lawmakers that are not in the African diaspora and are not part of Latin America, my question to you is, how do you want us to be? How do you want us to reflect America? How is it you want us to speak and dress and talk? I guess what I'm really saying is, do you want me to be right or white?
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, and I am Milwaukee. Truth in the Afternoon is a platform where you and I can share our love, our lives, and our journey together. That is why, as a fan, your perspective is key. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin plays at an MVP level. They came in ahead of time, make sure they had all of the measurements. When the Pella people left, you had no idea they had been here. You just had the new window.
It's Dr. Ken from 1017 The Truth for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, Pay as low as $19 a month per window and $75 per month on patio doors. Visit PellaWI.com today.
$6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers end 9/30/2023.
Join Milwaukee Academy of Science at its 8th annual Night with the Novas Gala on Friday, October 20th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Discovery World. Enjoy the silent and live auctions, amazing food, and prizes. This is another event of the fall season. Are you interested in attending this remarkable event? Well, visit their website at MilwaukeeAcademyOfScience.org or contact Uniqua Adams at uadams@mascience.org for tickets. Milwaukee Academy of Science is a Milwaukee charter school that strives for equity, learning, and excellence in STEM education.
Hi, I'm John McGivern. If you're looking for a Medicare plan with freedom and flexibility, choose a Network Health Medicare Advantage plan. Plans start as low as $0 a month with $0 doctor visits and $0 prescription drugs, plus vision, hearing, and dental benefits. For 40 years, Network Health has been a trusted expert in making health insurance affordable and understandable. Don't wait. Call 833-7-NETWORK today.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Give it up for Naughty by Nature!
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Make sure you tune in to the Truth Business Spotlight. That's this Thursday, tomorrow, 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with me. We'll be joined by Ashley Lucas, Vice President and Business Lending Product Manager at Associated Bank. Ashley will discuss why fraud prevention should be a priority for your small business. So again, tune in to Business Spotlight with Associated Bank this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oh, put it all the way over here. I gotta think ahead of time when I sit down and I come in and I log in to StreamYard and I'm doing stuff and I just lay the stories I have down, right? And then I go, while I'm in the middle of talking, where did I put my stories? Then I gotta go. Hey, just so you know, if you hadn't heard, Milwaukee police say a 16-year-old has been taken into custody in connection to the shooting at a Milwaukee Lutheran homecoming football game last Friday. So, just so you know that, there's one in custody. And I mean, 16 years old, cranking off shots? Like, what is that? And the only answer people have is, well, let him do his time. He's in trouble. Yeah. But how did he get there? Like, that's what I want to know. How did these kids get here? I don't understand how kids get here. How did you end up on the track at Milwaukee Lutheran High School during a football game, during their homecoming, and shooting off rounds? You thought it would be funny or something? Or did you forget that they have this thing called ShotSpotter and they have this thing called people with video cameras, stuff like that? And it's unfortunate. But what are we going to do to save our youth? I mean, really, we talk about it and we have suggestions, but what should each individual person who's able in our community do? Axel 4027 said, parents aren't parents. I don't know how old you are, but when you're 16, did you need your parents to know right from wrong or do anything? I don't know. Axel 4027 said that takes smarts and they don't have that. I disagree. I think we keep looking at black people from even the way that we look at each other from a negative lens of a less than, you can't do anything, you're not smart, you're not, and it's unfortunate. We've lost the place where people can just speak their mind. And they added 16, no, but I had real parents. So what do you mean by real parents? I would venture to say parents that taught you what not to do and what to do, and then you held that even though they weren't around. So in that instance, I would say you're right. We don't have parents. So who's teaching our kids? We've augmented our schools to basically take care of your child 24/7, even though they're only in school for like what, 6.5 hours. So I don't really understand what a child is not getting. If you want food, they got free food. If you want drink, they got free drink. You could probably get clothes. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017. What should we do with the young, I don't know if it's a man or woman, they just said teenager, who threw shots into the air at Milwaukee Lutheran's homecoming game? And I'm interested because eventually they may charge him or her. They'll have a trial. And at 16 years old, they're a juvenile. And so what do you do with a juvenile? He didn't kill anybody. Recklessly endangering safety, a felony. But what do we do? Give me a call, 833-212-1017. I'm interested in knowing, what do we do? Because now things are isolated. It's going to start getting colder and people are going to be living in houses together. And if we get a lot of snow, it'll be a mini COVID all over again. Stuck in the house, can't go anywhere. Can't go get food, can't go it'll just break down. And then what? Now, I'm kind of scared, with quotes, scared, because we're going to lose some people. We're going to lose a few of our youth for making decisions that were bad, that could have cost someone their life, but they didn't. And then they'll stand trial. And then what? Nobody got hurt, so there's, in my mind, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't play one on TV or the radio. I don't know if they should go to jail. I mean, they might get probation if they don't have any priors, but nobody got hurt, nobody got wounded, and nobody died. And so somebody said to me today, yeah, but somebody could have. Well, but they didn't. We can only work with what we have in front of us. And if the only thing you have in front of us is you heard shots fired and they trace back to this person and you believe you have probable cause to arrest the person, done. But then that's it. Until it happens again and again. And then we'll have to do something about it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Give me a call. Tell me, what am I missing and what are the kids missing today? Willie, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so what the kids are missing. Now, this, I can only give it from my point of view. I am a father. I've raised one son, one daughter. I got 2 grandkids. And I can only give the way I was raised. In my opinion, I think what they're missing is they're actually missing the village. You made a statement that something about when you put values into your kid, you put values into the child, and then the child went out into the world. Okay? It's not like that anymore. Kids nowadays are being raised by the iPhone, by the tablet. If you want to see who it is they idol, who they worship, who they listen to, check out their YouTube stream. Listen to their music. Yeah, we know it's gangster rap, woo, woo, woo. But gangster rap is not NWA anymore. It's not Eazy-E anymore. It's much, much, much different. You got kids nowadays who are trying to kill each other over simple Facebook arguments. Okay? Being a parent nowadays is on a totally different level. When I was a child, my mom would say outside this house to embarrass anybody in this house. When you leave this house, you're a representative of this house. Those days are long gone. And the whole attitude about the way you carry yourself, the things you do and whatnot, if you didn't carry those values into the street, Miss Ann, Miss Margaret, Mr. David, these were all friends of my mother's. And they would snatch you up. And they hand you some. And you can't use it where you not my mom, you not my daddy thing, because they was going to hold you down until your mom came home. And then you probably got it again. So what these kids are missing nowadays, well, for starters, they're missing the village. And being a parent nowadays is not so much of your word being enough to sustain them. Now is your word against YouTube. Is your word against social media. Is your word against what they see. Is your word against the music they're listening to. Is your word against their friends at school or in the neighborhood or down the block. And nowadays are outnumbered.
Well, but doesn't every generation say that? Doesn't every generation say that there's something, that there's some kind of music that, you know, they said the same crap about Elvis. They said it about the TV. They said it when the radio. They said it when the car. Like
this is absolutely true. This is true, but Elvis wasn't talking about shooting nobody.
We're not. But,
Elvis was just talking about shaking his hips.
No, Elvis was talking about having sex with women.
Well, I don't recall that many Elvis songs. I can't debate that one. I cannot debate that one. But I don't know of any Elvis songs that'll make somebody want to go pick up a gun or anything like that.
So what does? Because it can't be the music.
The music is just a reflection of the times. These are my opinions now. The music is just a reflection of the times, but somehow or another, the whole gun thing became cool. I don't know how or where or when it became cool, but what did not become cool is letting the kids know that your actions, whatever they may be, minute or severe, your actions carry consequences.
But I think
you need to know the consequences.
But I think what happened is social media amplified the response, right? So I get in trouble.
Amen.
And now you videotape it, and now literally anybody with a phone or computer or a laptop or tablet in the entire world connected to the internet can see you. And because you haven't learned how to control your emotion, you haven't learned how to recognize that we all fail and we make mistakes, big ones, and we make it through. we lose it. We don't know how. We don't have the emotional intelligence to take a step back, relax. We just want vengeance, and so we go shoot them.
Yeah, I wish I would. They say who makes a mousetrap to be the path at your door or something along that line. I wish somebody would find an answer to it, because I don't know if we need to put out a video of what it actually looks like to be shot. I mean, you see it on TV, you know, in the movies and whatnot. Oh, I'm shot, and then you go run off somebody, you know, go on without me. No, that's not what happens. If you're actually able to see what a bullet can do to a human body, you know, they used to have that TV show, Scare Straight. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe we need to find a way to, you know, do you really want to do this to somebody? Do you really want to have this done to you? You've seen dead bodies in the streets with the blanket over it. Okay, cool. Maybe that's not getting you. You've seen the fire department come by with the water hose and clean up the blood trail. Maybe that's not getting it. You know, they used to have an old movie out there called Faces of Death. I wouldn't watch it again. But if you see what a bullet can actually do to a body, how much hate do you actually have in you that you want to inflict that type of harm on another human being?
But I think you're giving it too much, I don't know what to say, thought. I don't think they're thinking about that at all. Like, it's so far from their mind. They just want that person dead, and they don't care.
It frightens me. It frightens me. But to answer the question, at least from my point of view, to answer the question, what kids are missing, the first thing that comes to my mind is the way I was raised. I was raised in Chicago. I was raised in the inner city of Chicago. And
can you explain to me what an inner city is? Because is that like code word for black?
I was raised in an all-black neighborhood.
So west side or south side?
Side of town.
Okay.
No side. No side. And I loved it.
Okay.
I loved my neighborhood.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in the Austin area of Chicago.
Okay. You know that's west, not northwest, but that's okay.
Well, it's northwest. Austin area, you can say northwest.
It's north. Look.
Look,
it's northwest from the real side of town, south side, right?
Well, okay. I used to hang out in the south side, but I couldn't stay with the south side. I used to hang out on 630 and King Drive. But
okay.
No, I always brought myself back home.
Okay.
But I mean, I loved my neighborhood. I loved my neighbors. I had friends who were like cousins. I went to the grocery store for Miss Ann down the block. If Miss Margaret was on the porch, when the porch lights came on, we can go outside for a little while. I mean, I wasn't worried about getting in too much trouble. I wasn't worried about getting shot I was worried about getting snatched. That was a thing, but I wasn't worried about getting shot or getting stabbed or anything like that. I wasn't even worried about drugs. You know, I wasn't worried about drugs. I was worried about smoking.
But also nobody harassed you. Nobody harassed you to make you do those things. You decided to go run with them back in the day.
Yeah, because all of my friends, their parents were friends with my parents. So I guess in a sense it was all same frame of mind or same way of thinking. You know, maybe, I don't know, but I knew that something was up when a buddy of mine got in trouble, and as the three of us was walking in the house, me, him, and his brother, he got a spanking, then his brother got a spanking, and I looked at her like, I know this woman ain't about to hit me. And sure as shit, she tore me up. And that's when I knew, okay, cool, this lady is not playing, you know. And when I told my mom about it, my mom didn't whoop me again, but she was pretty upset. And I was in the house for the rest of that week. But I'm glad that I had, for lack of better phrases, I had a village raise me. And I'm grateful for every single one of them to this day.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling, Willie.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your show.
All right.
Bye.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, job creators, businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join us for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, held December 6th and 7th at the Baird Convention Center, downtown Milwaukee, virtually on the 5th. Presented by WEDC. Marketplace Wisconsin is a chance for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned, and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. You keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics, and transportation, technology, medical services, and much more. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success. Join us at Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 6th and 7th. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin by going to marketplacewisconsin.com. Let's move forward together.
Truth Nation, are you ready to become the best business leader you know you can be? Forever Media, which is a black-owned leading media company, is proudly presenting their Lead the Movement Business Conference. This premier event, hosted on September 29th, 2023 at the iconic Henry Meyer Festival Park, aims to equip attendees with the tools and knowledge to lead effectively, innovate talent acquisition, elevate their brand, and champion diversity and inclusion. It's time to level up. To learn more and purchase tickets, visit LTMconference.com.
I noticed that my central vision started to blur.
Figures that are usually straight started to distort to become wavy.
What are these little dark spots with blurring that I'm seeing?
There's a blind spot like a blob over my vision now.
Is my vision lost forever? Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist in a timely manner have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Don't delay seeing a retina specialist. It's worth the visit to save your vision so you don't miss out on life's precious moments, like seeing your grandchild grow up, enjoying a sunset with that special someone, or reading a good book. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
As daylight hours decrease, crashes involving people driving and people biking or walking increase. Turn your lights on, slow down, and look around to help reduce nighttime crashes. Let's make sure everyone, no matter how they travel, gets home safe. Learn more at wisconsinbikefed.org.
Gamers seeking top-notch tech services? PWD Computers is your ultimate destination. Custom-built gaming PCs for a high-end gaming experience. From Windows to Apple, with years of experience, PWD Computers are here for you. 3800 West Bleed Street. Open weekdays 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Southbound 43 remains very heavy, a 33-minute ride to get from Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's a 22-minute backup. Delays kicking in at Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette onto 4394 southbound. The northbound side's backed up out of the Marquette up past Keefe. And westbound 94, very heavy ride right now from downtown all the way to the Zoo Interchange. You're looking at about a 15-minute ride. Delays stretch all the way to Hawley Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, a chance of showers, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly to partly cloudy, chance for sprinkles with a high of 68. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. It may not be how they envisioned clinching the division, but the Brewers are National League Central champions despite a 4-1 loss to the Cardinals.
Iglesias pitch, a swing and a miss, and the Brewers, for the third time in 6 years, are the National League Central Division champions, and this crowd stuck around.
The Braves erased a 6-run deficit to beat the Cubs, and the Brewers claim their spot at the top of the Central Division for the third time in 6 years. Brewers are back at it tonight. Coverage getting underway at 6:20 WTMJ, beginning at 6 p.m. The Green Bay Packers are just 1 day away from their Week 4 showdown with the Detroit Lions on Thursday night. The Packers getting some encouraging news on the injury front Tuesday. Aaron Jones expected to return to action, as is second-year wideout Christian Watson. Packers-Lions kick off Thursday night at 7:15. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. In the 5 o'clock hour, we've got the Milwaukee Police Department, sensitive crimes. I don't know what they call them now, division, unit, them people, all them folks. But the folks that work with juveniles and all sorts of things, sensitive, elderly, sex crimes, things of that nature. Missings, and that's what we really want to talk about today is missings. And so I'll have Officer Vines on today. So at 5 o'clock, make sure you keep listening right here. And if you have any questions, you know where to get us, just like Sherman did. How are you, sir? Hello, Sherman. Hello? Hello, Sherman. Okay. Well, we're going to put Sherman on hold, see if he's going to come back. He might have been off doing something, 833-212-1017 is the number. LT said, yes, you're missing Taylor Swift, and today kids are missing communication skills within that are problem solving skills. Well, yeah. Big time missing it. Sherman, are you back?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to piggyback off the last guy that had called when he said about the village. I want to add a little bit more to that. I think another thing that these children are missing these days is structure and discipline. And the reason why I say that is because we have the kids are getting conflicting messages. On one hand, you have a parent maybe telling the child this, and the other parent telling it this. And it's another thing about. You have so many parents this day and age wanting to be friends with their kids. When I was younger, we couldn't close a bedroom door. I don't think that bedroom door ever closed when we was younger. This day and age, you have kids. They got guns in their rooms. I know this because I'm talking about my nephews. They have guns in there. They have weed in there. They have dope up in there. They have scales up in there. They have razor blades. They have the bag. They have everything. And when you say something to the parent, instead of them, saying, hey, Sherman's been in prison before. He knows what he's talking about. He's trying to prevent you from going down that path. You ain't his daddy. You can get out of his face. I step back. But then when they get to jail, hey, Sherman, how is it going to be in there? Got nothing to do with me. You'll find out on your way. It has no, I'm not writing you. I'm not. I have a son right now that might be back on his way to prison. I'm not writing. I'm not going to go see him. I'm not accepting no phone calls. He has kids. If they don't come see me, that has nothing to do with me. Because I'll tell you before you go what's going to happen. It's one thing, Dr. Ken, I've come to enjoy is this, my freedom. And if I can pass on a nugget of information to these kids is this. Once you pop the pistol, you can't unpop it. It's over with. Especially if you take a life. It's a done deal.
Right.
You'll never get a chance to feel what it feels like to be with a woman. I'm just going to go with the simplest things. Swimming. Climbing a tree. Holding your kids for the rest of the day, just sitting there, just watching TV, whenever you want to go to sleep. Can't do that no more. That's what some of these kids need to understand. And I've been trying my best, to like whenever I come in contact with some teenagers or something like that, I try to sit them down and I try to tell them, man, this ain't that, going to prison ain't cool. I don't know who told these kids that going to jail is cool. But on the other hand, I want to add a little bit of a solution to just my opinion on this, my take on the solution.
Okay.
I think that if I had a chance to get 60 kids and go to the mayor and say, hey, check this out. Give me $1 million and 60 kids. And then give me 6 abandoned houses. Let's teach these kids on how to do some plumbing, some electrical, how to do some shingles, how to hang some doors, some windows, landscaping, and all the rest of that stuff. And I've said this before many times, that a kid is no different than a lawnmower. You can have $1 billion lawnmower. It will not start up if you don't have that $2 spark plug up in there. See, you need to learn. People need to learn how to put that spark into these kids. Find out what they like. Find out what they're good at. They can all day long say, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. Well, give me your phone and let me see the history in your phone if that's what you've been looking at.
Right.
No, because I don't want to see you on your phone that you got the history. You've been looking at the fights, porno, on how to build a ghost gun, or who got the slickest, what's that, the new switch on the gun. I don't need to see all that.
Right.
Because I like my freedom. And I try to tell these kids, you ain't going to value your freedom until it gets taken.
That's true.
When you have somebody younger than you telling you it's bedtime.
Wow.
I try my best.
All right.
But again, like go back to the first part. If we had more parents that try to talk to some of these people that has been in prison, and then let them let us talk to their kids and say, hey, this is what's going to happen when you go there. You ain't got to take my word for it. I told my son, when you go, I didn't say if you go, but when you go, this is what's going to happen. They're not going to write you. They're not going to come see you. They're not going to accept no phone calls, and they're not going to send you no money. The only way to prove me wrong is to go there and find out. Oh, he's there. He's going to find out.
All right. Well, thank you much, Sherman.
Okay, that's perfect.
I appreciate it. All right. 833-212-1017 is the number.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud new home of Marquette University High School football. Be sure to tune in to Marquette Hilltoppers football every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Leff's Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee. Bucks basketball is back. A new era tips off with Coach Griffin at the helm and your favorite core back on the court. Don't miss a moment of the action, from the slam dunks to the electrifying victories and the roar of 18,000 fans, all unfolding live at Fiserv Forum. Secure your seats now to be a part of every incredible moment. Visit Bucks.com/tickets and join us for an unforgettable season of Bucks basketball. There's a seat waiting for you at Fiserv Forum. Secure yours now at Bucks.com/tickets.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you a true hip-hop enthusiast looking to immerse yourself in the rich history and culture of hip-hop? Look no further. The Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum is here to take you on a journey like no other. Join the Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum for fascinating exhibitions Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Their guided tours will take you on a journey from the golden era of hip-hop all the way to present day. To schedule an appointment, go to MilwaukeeHipHopPopup.com. Mic check 1 2 1 2. The Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum is here for you.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Did you hear about Target closing? Target will be closing some of their stores in major cities, citing persistent large-scale theft. And it is a latest sign that retailers may be struggling in their battle to contain a growing and dangerous problem. And so the news is stuck on the robberies, the break-ins, what are they calling it today when big groups of people run in stores? We called it in our day. It changes names, but it's the same crap. They bum rush a store, run in, nobody can stop them, security, police, you get overwhelmed, you steal all the stuff and you run out. But they seem to think if we can just stop the kids, and I think the part that they're missing, and I talked about it this morning on our sister station, people are not going to come to the store. They're not coming downtown. They're not coming to your store. So it's not that Target is closing because they stole stuff. That's literally built into the price. You're overpaying for everything anyway. So you could probably take a good quarter of the store and, okay, they'll still make a profit. It's when people are afraid to come to your store. So the people that would buy the rest of the stuff that wasn't stolen, when they don't come, you're in trouble. And so now industry experts say even a small increase in crime has a massive cascading effect that causes retailers to close stores. It's proof that store crimes are reaching a new level, but store crime and a host of other challenges, pullback in consumer spending, excessive inventory. Retailers are also contending with all of that as they try to lift their store sales and make decisions on which stores to shut down. The beauty of it is that what they're telling you is that we're shutting down stores near black and brown communities. If you're poor, we're shutting your door. We're shutting doors, right? And they don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female. They don't care. We are shutting down the store. Oh, they're in major cities. Okay, so I guess inner city. Okay, we don't use that anymore. Oh, wait, urban. No, we don't use that anymore. What do we use? Major cities. Oh, we're going to be closing in major cities. What does that even mean? When your major metropolitan cities in America have huge minority populations. Think about that. We feel that it would be more right. Meanwhile, you had a chance to actually do something when it kicked off and jumped off, and you didn't do anything. Midtown, Milwaukee. One of the most thriving places I've seen since I've been in Milwaukee, short of Bayshore and Mayfair. You were able to go hang out with black people and do stuff. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie, that was my favorite Starbucks. I lived at Starbucks at Midtown. Was able to meet every day. Sunday afternoons, we would show up, and Saturday have those black conversations, and people would overhear us like, what y'all talking about? Oh, we talk about crime, religion, education, you name it. That was the spot. Preachers would come through there. Politicians would come through there. The governor would come through. It was the spot. Like, people knew, oh, you want to go hang out and do something black? Starbucks. Until there were some issues and multiple robberies, and poof, gone that fast. And then you heard word that they didn't really want to put a Starbucks there anyway. But Magic Johnson said, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it and put it in that neighborhood. So they did. Unfortunately, it didn't last. But at least we had it. And the only reason we had it is for the first, year or two, Magic Johnson was an investor and he brought it there. Now, he also wanted to bring his Magic Theaters, and they wouldn't let him. They was like, hold up, player. You can only go so far. Your name and money can only go so far. We're not putting that in here. And I'm pretty sure that was because certain other people in Wisconsin that own theaters were like, yeah, the same way you build hotels and build conference centers and things of that nature. Those business people stand up and sometimes block progress, just like we're getting today. But one of the things that disturbed me about the city was we had a rash of missings that were going on maybe 6-8 months. It was almost every day there was a major missing, right? And I know, and what we're not going to talk about is what the catalyst of, beefing up sensitive crimes and making sure we had people there working, because even when I was on the job, every now and then somebody fell through the cracks. And so it's not that people fall through the cracks, but the process has, very specific rules and procedures in order to be, in order to broadcast it throughout the state, Amber Alerts, things of that nature. And so hindsight, people always, you should have done this and you should have done that. And it didn't fit criteria. So we're going to talk after the top of the hour. We're going to talk to police officer Kiana Vines, who's from the Sensitive Crimes Division at the Milwaukee Police Department, the chief. And, I rattled a few K's and said, I want to talk to somebody. Actually, I just begged and said, please. And they said, yes. And so she's going to be here to talk about it and talk about her career and all the great things MPD is doing as it relates to missings. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be right back. Truth Nation, Dr. Ken Harris here, and I'm excited about the Truth's partnership with Versiti. There is a serious need for blood donations in the Black community, and Versiti wants to bring awareness to this because it's their mission to improve patient outcomes, advance the field of personalized medicine, and strengthen the health of communities everywhere. This is why you should tune in every month when a representative from Versiti joins the Truth to share about what they're doing to make a difference in our community.
This is 1017 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, host of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. My show is enlightening, entertaining, educational, and informative. We talk about everything from national issues to things happening right here in our own backyard. More importantly, I discuss ways that we can come together and find solutions collectively. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes Monday through Friday on 1017 The Truth from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Telly Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Telly.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the Watch Live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Telly, that is exactly right. So now they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hit segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the Watch Live link.
Hey y'all, I'm Kelly Clarkson. Every American dreams of creating a better life for his or her family, but in some communities, those dreams face difficult challenges. When we come together to help those in need get the same opportunities as everyone else, we truly are making our country a better place to live for all of us. So look for volunteer opportunities in your community to help others achieve the American dream, all right? This message is courtesy of the United States Air Force.
Here's to trekking through a kaleidoscope of fall color in Wisconsin. To being like, who's up for whitewater rafting? And turning stories into souvenirs. Here's to rich traditions made new again with good company. And seasonal flavors that taste even better when shared with friends. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your fall getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Join the livest radio show in Milwaukee, Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Listen every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Once again, I've been bumped off my own show by the Milwaukee Police Department. And so it was planned because I have Police Officer Kiana Vines here with us. And so we are... You all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Officer Vines is an officer with the Sensitive Crimes Division of the Milwaukee Police Department. And so one of the things I wanted to do, and I got to say thank you to, why did his name just drop out of my mind? PIO.
Oh, Cornejo.
Sergeant, I thought it was Sergeant Cornejo. Okay. So thanks to Sergeant Cornejo for taking care of it, and I appreciate it. One of the things that was bothering me was this rash of missings. And I always would hear people complain about what to do about a missing. When you get a missing, what exactly do you do? Who do you call? What's going on? What's gonna happen? And so we have Officer Vines here today to really discuss that. But if she's open to sharing, what kind of got you into law enforcement in the first place?
Oh, that's funny. When I went to Washington High School, so I am a native of Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up, kind of rough, in a rough neighborhood. And I was really good at following directions, and I thought I wanted to do the military, but I was like, oh, they a little bit too strict. So I was like, you know what, let me go down a little bit. And I decided to go into law enforcement because I really did want to help my community. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was the best route to go. So ever since I was in high school, I wanted to be in law enforcement.
And so now you graduated. When did you do any college, or you did what was your road to the academy?
So when I finished high school, I ain't going to say what year, but when I finished high school.
I bet it wasn't as far back as me.
No. But
okay.
So I ended up going to UWM for about a year and majoring in criminal justice. And I had a sister who was already an officer, and they told me about the police aid program. So my gateway was the police aid program. And I figured, hey, I can still go to school. But that was a guaranteed way for me, if I completed the program successfully, to be an officer. Right. So I did that for about 2 years.
Now we're talking old school police aid, right?
Old, yeah, regular blue uniform, no light blue uniform.
Right. Okay. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you got on, you did the program, you graduated.
I did.
And
And I finished the academy and I started my career at District 7. That's my home. Very busy district, but let me tell you, I learned a lot. And
yes.
That's what I chose.
In a very short period of time.
Yeah. You got to be very attentive.
I worked 7 late and 7 days.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was late most of my career, late power. While there, I continued my education. I ended up graduating from Herzing University with a business degree. So I have a bachelor in science in that. After District 7, I ended up going to OCO, which is like it's a long name, but OCO, basically I was in the school squads. Right. And I had District 3, that was my main focus. And I ended up going back to Washington High School, where I graduated from, and seeing some of my old teachers and talked to some of the kids there. I loved that.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're a police officer.
Yeah, they thought I was one of the students because I'm short. One lady ran up to me and was like, "Girl, I thought you was one of them kids in the police car," because she couldn't see my uniform because I'm so little.
Wow.
But after that, I went back to 7, and then I went into sensitive crimes.
Okay. And so you love it in sensitive crimes, of course, because it seems like it's your passion.
It is. I mean, I love sensitive crimes because we see our cases from the beginning to the middle to the end. Unlike patrol, you kind of sometimes pass it on to the bureau and you don't know what happened. Yep. But with sensitive crimes, it was definitely a different way to work. And what I mean by that is when you're on patrol, it's call to call to call to call.
Oh,
it took a little adjusting for me because, I was on that high call to call to call to call. But with this, you take your time, you talk to, your victims, the family, and it's a lot more involved.
Yeah.
So
wow. And so lately we've seen two in the last year or so. And I'm not talking numbers in terms of I want data and recovery and all, but we've just seemed to, like, anecdotally, right? Just in thinking about it, we had a lot of missing people. Or is it that a lot of missing people got reported on the news?
So for me, that's what I do every day.
Right.
So it's,
So for you, it's kind of normal?
It's normal for me.
Yeah.
So in order, we don't list, obviously, every single missing that we have on the news. There's definitely criteria.
Right.
And what we do is we try to locate the person first. And if we can't, locate them on our own, then we need additional help. Then we'll, put them on the news.
Okay. So. And then you may call a district and let them know, hey, here's your missings. And those are then assigned and say, you need to check this. Because I know you can't check every single missing every single day.
Oh, no.
So many times districts will be given a list and say, hey, these people are missing today. I need you during your shift to go check to see if that person's
we do
home.
Audits.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I send it out and I let them know these are the people that are missing in your district. And they should follow up on the missings within that audit at least once a week. They should be calling and trying to locate them.
Okay. And so I'm the person, well, I have like a twofold question. I'm the person whose loved one is missing and I don't see an Amber Alert.
Okay. So I think it's people think that the Milwaukee Police Department issues Amber Alerts.
Right.
Or silver alerts. Or
and
green
actually,
alerts.
it's the state of Wisconsin.
It's Department of Justice is the ones that issue those alerts. And if the Milwaukee Police Department does not satisfy their criteria, they will deny you. And trust me, we have been denied where we think like, hey, we think we have, and they will say no.
Right.
So there's certain criteria that we have to meet for Amber Alerts, silver alerts, or green alerts.
And so what you're doing is you are literally taking the opportunity to send unwanted text messages and alerts because it overrides your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you can have your phone on vibrate. Mm-hmm. You can have your phone, and if it's on, you're going to get that tone and you're going to get the alert.
Absolutely.
And it's a great thing, but then
we don't want to miss.
What if I'm asleep at 2:00 in the morning and you're looking for Ray Ray, who, you know what I mean? But it's important that information get out and it gets out in a timely fashion.
Right. The way I work these cases is if it was my loved one.
Right.
I don't care if I'm waking you up at 2:00. If you got information that I need and it woke you up, please call the police department. So just be patient and just know that if it was your loved one, you want us to do any and everything to find them.
And why is it that people always complain? Well, I didn't bother you because I didn't think it was that important. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why people think that. I try to tell them, even if you think it's minute, let us determine whether it's minute or not, because it may be something.
That one piece of information.
You don't know what we're looking for. Okay. We don't tell everything, to the public while we're investigating for obvious reasons. But if it's something that you think is minute, send it over. Let us check it out. And
all right. So when we come back from the break, I want to walk through. My daughter is missing, and I'm kind of give you a scenario. I don't know if I'm gonna make it critical missing or not, but then maybe you'll differentiate between the two: a regular missing. I don't know if I call it regular missing, a missing and a critical missing.
Or we'll say non-critical and a critical.
Non-critical. Okay, stop doing all that police jargon. Like you police or something.
I'm just saying. I might know a little something.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. We are here with police officer Kiana Vines. She is from the Sensitive Crimes Division. She works missings. If you have any questions, give us a call, 833-212-1017. You can hit us on the talk and text line. And when we come back, we're going to find out non-critical missing versus critical missing. If your loved one is missing right now, what do you do?
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe that our listeners deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that's exactly what we're going to bring to you every day from 12 to 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about life, love, relationships, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. Listen to Nothing But the Truth with me, Melanie Ricks, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
I'm tired. I'm tired of watching this city fall apart and have leaders who will not say why. What is the issue with saying what the issue is? I have 5 things that need to be addressed in the black community to mitigate, to stop crime, period. Hands down, full stop. Number 1, when your kid does something wrong, they need to be held accountable. If it's a smack on the wrist for something they did that was little, that's fine. Otherwise, they need to be held accountable. Number 2, parents, you need to take care of and raise your kids. It is not the job of the police, the fire department, the school, or anybody else to raise the kid that you decided to have. It's on you. For those kids that have now come into adulthood, go to college for at least an associate's degree in a trade. That way you can either start your own business or get a good job. Number 2, when you graduate from high school with at least a 2.5 grade point average or higher. And then finally, probably the number 1 thing that everybody needs to think about, and whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant, it's my truth take. If you disagree, God bless you. But the bottom line is, wait to get married before you have children. Why? Because the responsibility of raising them is on you.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. See, that's what you get when you're talking to the police and then y'all start to talking about what's going on in the city and what's happening. We are here with Police Officer Kiana Vines. She is an officer with the Sensitive Crimes Division, and she handles missings for the Milwaukee Police Department and does all sorts of other things. And so before the break, I was asking you, what do you do or how do you figure out what to do when someone's missing? And so here's a scenario. My son/daughter was last seen 23 hours ago, and they left home crying, saying, "I'm not coming back. I hate you all." And then I call. First of all, what do I do? There you go.
So how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 20 years old.
Okay. So if your daughter is 20 years old and they said that, they hate you and they're not coming back, she can do that. She's not missing. She's an adult.
But she's been gone 23 hours.
She can go wherever she wants.
24 hours.
24 hours she can go, unless there's
72 hours.
I've had actually adults, true story, where a mom came in, reported her son missing. I think he was like 30 something. And I did some follow up and I ended up finding him in another state, and he was livid. And he said, "I'm not missing. Who reported me missing? I'm grown. I'm not missing. I bet you it was my mom. I don't want anything to do with my mom."
But what criteria did she use?
I can't remember. She might have said she was concerned about his well-being or something like that. Then that kind of ups our ante. Like, okay, well, why are you concerned and things like that? But just saying that you don't want to come back as a 20-year-old, I mean, you can do that. That's not.
So what if I'm 11 years old?
Okay, 11. That makes it a little bit more difficult. That would be a critical missing for us, just based off the age.
So do I call 911? Do I call non-emergency? How do I do that?
You can call, I would say the well, it all depends.
Depends on how you feel, really. Well, if you feel that their life is in jeopardy, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say don't call 911 because that's an 11-year-old,
You're going to get somebody to get a 911 abuse ticket.
Well, depending on what happens, we have 11-year-olds who might say X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to say what, but, or they may be autistic or something like that. I'm not going to say, something like that.
And we found our share of autistic kids who love water.
Oh, yeah. A lot of autistic. That's a known fact that autistic kids get drawn to water. So I'm not going to say call, the non-emergency for that. It all depends.
It depends on how you feel as a parent. What's most important.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to get it unless you redundantly call.
Like
for
you've called 6
things.
times, and
Yeah, but you can also with critical missings. I like to say call from where it's happening at. Don't go to a district. Call us right then and there so we can search. You don't know if there's officers who are in the area who see that call and might see your child. So if it's, a critical missing, all means call right there because, we can get on the air. We can, broadcast it right away, get a description out. And a lot of our missings, like for criticals, they find them.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. If you call right away, don't delay it.
So when we say critical, the things that the criteria you use for critical missing versus non-critical, not necessarily an actual example, but it includes age, it includes mental capacity, how they interacted before they left, words they said. Are they in need of any medication?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So there are a lot of things that you may think they're just missing, and then somebody mentions, and last Thursday they went to the doctor and they have early onset Alzheimer's.
Okay, we gonna say
that's a
critical.
Trigger.
Yes.
And so those are the things that instead of the person trying to figure out what the person should be, give as much detailed information as possible.
And I know it could be, especially when something's going on right then and there, and our operators, our telecommunicators, is asking a lot of questions.
Right.
Well, they have to classify that call correctly. So don't get frustrated with them. The more detailed, the better.
Right.
You know,
and is that going to be asked again by the officer coming?
Absolutely.
And if sensitive crimes come, they're going to ask again?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And like I said, don't get frustrated. You know, we just want to make sure we have the information correct. So you may be asked multiple times. You might be asked by the telecommunicator, then a police officer or a detective or an officer that responds from sensitive crimes. You just have to confirm it. What we don't want is having incorrect information go out on the air or incorrect information on any kind of social media platform. So just be patient and know that it's just because we have to clarify, because I know when I've investigated a lot of missings, and when I ask those questions again, it differs.
Right.
So I just got to make sure I have it right.
But it always differs, right? When you've had time to think, calm down, relax.
And you may remember something that you didn't know.
Or in passing, or they went to the hospital. Oh, yeah, they're on this medication, which can change the entire type of call it is.
Absolutely.
And so how do you help people understand, or how have you dealt with the fact that some people don't come home?
How do I deal with it?
Yeah, because I mean, every day you read, that 4:15 briefing every day when and you hear what's happening throughout the city, and you hear these are the people, and some of them have been missing for years.
Yeah, and I work long-term missings too.
Yeah.
To me, I think communication is key, and also knowing, for me, if I don't find that person, like I said, when I investigate missings, I pretend like it's my family member, and I follow up on every single lead. So I go home knowing that I try my best to locate that person.
Right.
So, because I don't want that on my conscience.
Oh, yeah.
And if I can't do it, then I know that someone on my team will follow up. Once I leave, I'll brief them and let them know, hey, this needs to get done.
And so that passes on, and eventually you just may not find the person, right?
But they're always gonna. I mean, I have missings from, I think the oldest one we have is 1942.
47.
Is it 47?
Yep.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Because when I was PIO, they were still missing.
Yep, and I don't want to say her name.
No.
But I actually because other jurisdictions, we have it's called NamUs, and that's where we put missing people.
Everybody that's missing all over the country.
Yep, and sometimes we have people from up north who find someone who's been, passed away for a long time, and they, put it in NamUs. And I can go and I look and I see if any of these people match some of our long-term missings. And if I think it is, I can reach out and say, hey, what do you have on this person? Do you have dental records? Do you have DNA? Do you have fingerprints? Stuff like that. I think this may be my missing person, and we can compare and see. And I actually worked on, even though her case was from 1940 something, I'm working on a little something with that. So we follow up. You always, once you're reported missing, you will continue to be missing long after I leave until we locate that person.
And is that because technology changes and that we're able to look at like mitochondrial DNA and dental records in ways that we never, and the fact that I can get information from here to Kewaskum in the push of a button versus driving it up there or sending it in the mail and it got lost. And so technology has really helped in the area of missings because information can go that much faster.
Absolutely. Technology is beautiful when it comes to that. And I'm talking about just Wisconsin, but I can reach out to, I have one now where I've reached out to a medical examiner in California because, my missing was from here, but we believe they may have traveled to California. With that NamUs system, I can say who's, instead of calling a million people like we used to do back in the day and getting the runaround and getting transferred, I can look directly on there and say, you know what, this person is assigned to this case. let me contact them directly. And they always respond back.
Wow.
And I'm like, I keep going. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
Like, I just keep,
go.
if
Yeah.
this person did something, let me talk to somebody else in your office. So
Because if it was your family member, you'd want somebody to go. So what is it that we need to know from you? Different areas, ICAC and all these other names and all the stuff that goes on with missings.
Well, missings, I would just say know that someone is always working on it, and know that we, as leads come in, we don't have a choice. We have to follow up on the leads that you have. I just worked a case where, I can't get into much of it, but some people were missing. And someone up north was like, well, I don't know if this was the person, but they had the description of that person, and they were way up north. We're still going to follow up on it, regardless, because we don't want to miss anything. I would say be patient. Working missings, it is not like TV. We do not solve them within 30 minutes. I also would say cooperation is key. I like to tell people when I investigate, I don't know your loved one like you know your loved one. I need you to paint me a story of what they like to do. I need you to paint me a story of who they hang around with. Missings, technology is great, but you have to interview some folks. And we got to get some information out of some folks.
All right.
So know that missings aren't criminal. We're not looking at anyone criminally. We're just trying to find somebody's loved one, okay? So if they're doing X, Y, and Z on the streets, that's fine. They're doing X, Y, and Z on the streets. I'm not looking at that. I'm just trying to find them. We'll deal with that later. We need to find this person. And I've had missings that was doing X, Y, and Z on the street, but I found them and brought, her back to her parents, so. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you love it.
I do. It can be tedious.
Yeah.
It's tedious, because I think it is a large caseload, and it's one to me. So, I work them as much as I can. Like far as I got this case, then I got to go to this case, then I got to go to this case, and then I got to go to this case, but then I'll go back to this case. So just be patient is what I'm saying.
Wow. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I learned a lot about sensitive crimes, and I was there for 1 billion years. So that sounds great.
And I do want to say one more thing.
Absolutely.
I work in these cases. I know that there's young juveniles that would say they leave home for whatever reason. They leave home. And there's good people in the city of Milwaukee, and they take these children in because these kids might say that they don't have anywhere to stay. I would just caution you on that, because if it was your child, would you not contact a parent and let them know that your child is here? Or you can contact us, or you can contact, if you don't like the police, you can contact even Child Protective Services if this child is homeless.
Someone who's a mandatory reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So another thing is if, we have kids who don't like to be home, but there's safer places that they can go. We have shelters like Pathfinders or Walker Point, and a lot of people don't know that they don't tell us if the kids are in the shelter or not, which is fine. I'd rather them be in the shelter and somewhere safe and things like that. So, if you get into it with your mom or your dad or something like that, instead of walking the streets of Milwaukee, all means go to Pathfinders. Be somewhere safe in a safe building. They'll feed you. They'll clothe you. It's a great place. They'll give you resources and all types of stuff like that. Don't run to the streets, because that's you don't need to be there.
But eventually, someone's going to get notified.
Yeah, they'll
because otherwise you're harboring a runaway.
They'll call. Well, it depends. Like, it's all types of different situations with the kids. But yes, they'll contact your parent and let you know after a certain while.
Correct.
That you're there, but you can stay there.
Right. Because by law they got to tell your parent. So outstanding. Well, thank you, Officer Vines. I appreciate it. We're gonna have to have you come in, in a couple months and see what's going on and check in if that's okay with you.
That's perfectly fine.
All right.
And I would love to share some light on some of our missings and our long-term missings.
That would be great.
Know something,
or maybe bring in some names and we'll look at 4 or 5 of them and put them out there
if it's okay with the families.
All right, sounds good. All right, Police Officer Kiana Vines, Milwaukee Police Department, Sensitive Crimes Division. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. You've got traffic, sports, and weather up next.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, job creators, businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join us for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, held December 6th and 7th at the Baird Convention Center, downtown Milwaukee, virtually on the 5th. Presented by WEDC. Marketplace Wisconsin is a chance for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned, and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. You keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics, and transportation, technology, medical services, and much more. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success. Join us at Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 6th and 7th. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin by going to marketplacewisconsin.com. Let's move forward together.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Justice is about receiving what we deserve. Quote Audre Lorde, who said, "There is no such thing as a single-issue struggle because we do not live single-issue lives." And that said, any freedom, including reproductive freedom, is our human right to decide what is best for our own lives. Reproductive freedom is about having bodily autonomy, which is the same as being able to control what happens to our bodies, including the decision to continue or terminate a pregnancy, rests with the pregnant person at all times and in all circumstances. Because when rights don't apply to all individuals and at all times, they are not rights. They are not rights. And as Black people, our rights are conditional way too often, whether we're talking about during police encounters, quality housing, or, some job opportunity.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bucks basketball is back. A new era tips off with Coach Griffin at the helm and your favorite core back on the court. Don't miss a moment of the action, from the slam dunks to the electrifying victories and the roar of 18,000 fans, all unfolding live at Fiserv Forum. Secure your seats now to be a part of every incredible moment. Visit bucks.com/tickets and join us for an unforgettable season of Bucks basketball. There's a seat waiting for you at Fiserv Forum. Secure yours now at bucks.com/tickets.
Join Milwaukee Academy of Science at its 8th annual Night with the Novas Gala on Friday, October 20th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Discovery World. Enjoy the silent and live auctions, amazing food, and prizes. This is another event of the fall season. Are you interested in attending this remarkable event? Well, visit their website at MilwaukeeAcademyOfScience.org or contact Uniqua Adams at uadams@mascience.org for tickets. Milwaukee Academy of Science is a Milwaukee charter school that strives for equity, learning, and excellence in STEM education.
Crash coming out of the Mitchell interchange right around the Plainfield curve just before Holt Avenue. We've got the right lane blocked. Emergency crews are on the scene, so give them a wide berth if you can. Southbound on 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette onto 4394. The northbound side's backed up out of the Marquette up past Keefe. And westbound 94, very heavy, all the way from 794 to about Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, a chance of showers, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly to partly cloudy, chance of sprinkles with a high of 68. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. It may not be how they envisioned clinching the division, but the Brewers are National League Central champions despite a 4-1 loss to the Cardinals.
Iglesias pitch, a swing and a miss, and the Brewers, for the third time in 6 years, are the National League Central Division champions. And this crowd stuck around
The Braves erased a 6-run deficit to beat the Cubs, and the Brewers claim their spot at the top of the Central Division for the third time in 6 years. Brewers are back at it tonight. Coverage getting underway at 6:20 WTMJ, beginning at 6 p.m. The Green Bay Packers are just one day away from their Week 4 showdown with the Detroit Lions on Thursday night. The Packers getting some encouraging news on the injury front Tuesday. Aaron Jones expected to return to action, as is second-year wideout Christian Watson. Packers-Lions kick off Thursday night at 7:15. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown team. Member FDIC.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Tune in this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Carrie Noni will be talking to Sierra Jones, Executive Director of Rethinking Schools, and Sarah Noble of the B. Noble Group. They will have an in-depth conversation on education, critical race theory, and reproductive justice. That's More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday, 11 a.m., right here on 1017 The Truth. The Truth is now home of Marquette University High School football. The Hilltoppers hit the gridiron this Friday night. They take on West Allis Central Bulldogs. Pre-game is at 6:30, and the kickoff is at 7 p.m. High school sports on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Truth, talking too fast, is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. And this is the last week to sign up for our Black-owned business give back if you want to win $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising on The Truth for free month, for 3 months, for free months. Well, technically, I guess it is for 3 months. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's free advertisement for your business, valued at $6,000. Don't miss out on the great opportunity. All you have to do is go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now to sign up. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com for details. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Also, Truth Nation, it's time to elevate and level up your business skills at Forever Media's Lead the Movement Conference. Now, this conference will teach you how to lead effectively, innovate talent acquisition, elevate your brand, and champion diversity and inclusion. So, Lead the Movement Conference is held this Saturday, 8 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. at Henry Meyer Festival Park. For more information, visit LTM Conference. That's L like Lincoln, T like Tom, M like Mary, conference, all one word, .com. And since we want to help you elevate your brand, I got 2 tickets to give away, 2 free tickets to give away to attend the conference this Friday. So, big caller number 3 right now, 833-212-1017 for your chance to win tickets to attend the Forever Media's Lead the Movement Conference. This Friday, Henry Meyer Festival Park. 2 tickets, free of charge, 833-212-1017.
Number 5.
Number 5, see what I did is I put my screen down, and I got to put my screen back up and look at the fact that today, Bucks acquired Damian Lillard. And so they traded Drew Holiday, and so everybody's all up in arms and actually happy about it, which I thought they would have been loving on some Drew Holiday, but I guess they told Drew to pack it up and roll out. So, I was just kind of shocked by that. I'm just saying.
Number 4.
16-year-old was arrested in connection with the shooting during Milwaukee Lutheran homecoming game. That Shooting happened on Friday night next to the game. Parents were a little miffed by it, but of course, they said several rounds of gunfire were heard during the game. Everybody ran. It was in the third quarter, and they canceled the homecoming festivities for the weekend. So that was kind of sad. But they have a 16-year-old in custody.
Number 3.
There's a critical missing. Milwaukee Police Department is looking for a critical missing 18-year-old, Essence R. Holloman, last seen at 8:30 near 87th Street and West Fond du Lac Avenue. Last seen wearing a white T-shirt, black and white pants, and black bonnet. Anyone with any information of her whereabouts is asked to call the Milwaukee Police Department Sensitive Crimes Division, where our guest, Officer Kiana Vines, works. 414-935-7405. That's 414-935-7405.
Number 2.
I keep getting all my counting wrong. Somewhere I get caught. Somewhere I get caught in between, like number 5 and number 3. Anyway. A Racine County school goes on lockdown as threats were leveled against a board member. All this as the school board goes beyond closed doors to possibly fire its principal. The principal's attorney is threatening to sue for discrimination because the principal is gay. A letter mailed to one Raymond school board member obtained by, where I'm reading this now, fox6now.com, reads, "We are providing notice and giving you an option to correct your behavior before we correct it for you. You're receiving this honor because you've been an extreme B word to Raymond school employees and others living in Raymond. You either stop the behavior now or you resign from the school board. If you fail to do either, there will be consequences imposed. You can expect us to take action when you are least aware." Sounds like a threat to me. So the sheriff's office confirmed that they're reviewing the anonymous letter sent to the board, and the deputy's been assigned to the case, and the investigation is ongoing. That one is a little scary. I think at some point you have to actually recognize and realize that, words you say, words matter.
Number 1.
I didn't want to read this, but I guess I have to, because you're going to wake up tomorrow and get a surprise. Multi-year construction project along Interstate 894 in Milwaukee County begins tomorrow. $59.7 million contract signed by Governor Evers will improve the stretch of highway between 84th and 35th Street, according to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Loomis Road Bridge over I-894 will also be reconstructed. So they're going to be resurfacing freeway lanes, ramps, reconstructing medians, and improving drainage systems, guardrails, lighting, and signs. 4 local roads, bridges, 84th Street, 68th, 51st, and 35th. What does that tell you in 2024? What should you expect? Should you expect long-term closures? Should you expect backed up traffic? What should you expect? You know what I would say? Don't drive on 894.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud new home of Marquette University High School football. Be sure to tune in to Marquette Hilltoppers football every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Leff's Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. 1 call, that's all.
Come join the old school after-work set at the Q, 2930 North MLK Drive. Relax and unwind with the sounds of DJ L Boogie. Every Thursday, 5 to 8 p.m. Buy 1 drink, you get 1 free. $1 whole chicken wings or crab it your way every day from 4 to midnight for the very best in eating seafood. Only at the Q. Deliciously prepared snow crab, crawfish, lobster, shrimp with crab it your way in-house sauce like that jerk garlic butter Alfredo. Hot a mile at the Q.
Are you a true hip-hop enthusiast looking to immerse yourself in the rich history and culture of hip-hop? Look no further. The Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum is here to take you on a journey like no other. Join the Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum for fascinating exhibitions Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Their guided tours will take you on a journey from the golden era of hip-hop all the way to present day. To schedule an appointment, go to MilwaukeeHipHopPopup.com. Mic check 1 2 1 2. The Milwaukee Hip Hop Museum is here for you.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. This is the time. It's starting to get drafty, and you might have those old windows, and, well, you don't want to get them fixed in the dead of winter. And so Pella has a great deal going on. Make sure you act fast because you can pay as low as $19 a month per window, $75 a month on patio doors. Installation is completed, cleaned, no mess, no fuss, no hassles, leaving nothing but perfect results. Visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. 6.99% APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See the showroom for details. Offer ends September 30th of 2023. So make sure you go to PellaWI.com. Check it out because it's starting to get a little chilly. I got to take my screens out and put storm windows back in because it's getting a little cold. And so if your windows don't work, or if you put the storm window in and it's like still having a screen, you probably need to go to PellaWI.com. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. I am way behind. Way behind. None of this rap and hip hop is positive, and social media is hurting those kids, and they're not getting, and it's reading and math. It's scary that might happen, a lot of them as adults. So you do know there is a number of black kids, black people, adults who are doing significantly well in the world. And so what I don't want to do is paint a brush that says because we have rap and because we have hip hop and because we have trap music that black people are doing bad. Or because we show black people on TV, not doing well. And if we show things not doing well, that's a reflection of everybody. Because it's not. It's not. I ask you to take a step back. Might be standing too close to the board. Take a step back so you can see the whole thing and understand that there are some black African American folks in the diaspora who are doing okay. Not great, but they're at least doing okay. That was Security Mike. Always at Work said guns been cool in America since the Wild Wild West. It's not the music, it's accountability. And with social media, kids think they can become famous for doing bad, but no one tells them that law enforcement is on social too. I would have to categorize your statement as facts. 101.7% Doc parents of every generation has navigated outside influence. There are violent blues songs from 90 years ago and rockets, red glare, and bombs bursting in the air. Talked about blowing people up. Parents have and will always be responsible for navigation of these things. And then he said, Doc, have you ever heard the song Staggerly, Staggerly? Yes, I've heard it before. So anyway, that's for old school when you folks who have no idea what the heck we're talking about. LT said, do you know who wants to be friends with their children? Parents who have had their kids at too young an age and were looking for affection from anywhere. I think that's an assumption. I think we see something and we use what our experiences are and we transfer that to other people and say that's why. Like the white kid that was in my class who said that the reason why black kids in inner cities don't get to school on time is because they didn't care about school. Because it didn't dawn on them that parents had to work midnight to 8, come home, go to do whatever, and they're just literally not at home, and they get home late so they can take the kid to school. So they'd rather have the kid late at school than to have the kid not at school at all. But when you use yourself as the barometer, you're going to always come up with the wrong thing. You're going to always assume, unless you go in and you get information and you talk to them and find out that, in fact, this is the problem. And then you're okay. And you go, okay, we can fix that. But I don't think many of us take time to do those types of things. Derek said white people are stifling, so why aren't stores closing in their hoods? Well, they are. If you go to Oakland and San Francisco, those are downtown, predominantly white communities, wealthy communities, and they're closing. They're closing. I think what's being asked is hold people accountable. But how can you hold the parents accountable when the parents don't seem to really care? I don't know. Is it the parents? Because I've known some parents, 2-parent household. I remember a kid that was in federal court that was about to get sentenced because he was an engineering student and had 2 parents who were professionals, and they just, and watch this, didn't matter if they were professionals, had 2 good parents at home. And just decided to go hang out with his friends and do an armed robbery. And got caught. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I tell you it was a bank? It was a bank robbery. So it made it a federal felony and went to jail for 5 years. Didn't even do it, just hanging out with them, party to a crime, right? And so sometimes people decide to do things. And when you're an adult, sometimes people decide to do things, right or wrong. And I've done the same thing, right? My chit marks are all on the right, on the good side, than they are more on the good side than the bad. But there's some on the bad. I'm just saying. We're all human, subject to failure. Eat too much, don't work out, all that stuff. You know how that get. But yes, I'm back on my regimen, back on working out every day, Eating right. I had to eat right today. Smaller portions. But now I'm in the middle where I'm hungry. So I'm finna get out of here and go get something to eat. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Tori Lowe Show is coming up next. Remember, Friday night we got football coming up at 7 o'clock. So make sure you check it out and really, really listen. 24 hours a day, we are here. I'll be back in 22 of those hours to bring you more Truth in the Afternoon. Thank you, Rhea. Appreciate you. God bless. Take care. I'm out.